Alright guys, we are here today at Universal Studios Orlando to finally try out the villaincon Minion Blaster ride. We're so excited.
Yes, it's going to be a great time, and we're going to make sure that you guys get all the tips, all the tricks,
all the insights.
Yes, and ultimately figure out, is it really worth the wait? Let's go find out. So we're about 20 minutes from park opening, but when it gets open, we're going to go in, and hopefully we can get in, and we'll let you guys know how it goes. So we'll check back in. Alright, and the gates are now opening, and Rebecca is excited.
Hopefully we can get in. We're hoping that it's still open for guests.
Yes, we are.
So we'll see. Alright, so we're gonna see if we can get on. Alright, so we made it in pretty early. It's a decent crowd today, but we're gonna head over and it looks like guests are going in, so.
Alright guys, we're in the villaincon minionblast queue, and there's a little bit of a line, but we got in really quickly, and we're excited.
It looks like we are picking out we're inside the warehouse of these villains. And they've got the malicious motors here, the whole bike. Criminal lord guy. These are the blasters that we're going to be holding.
Alright guys, now we're going to go pick up our blasters and go join the villaincon team.
Alright guys, we are getting ready to finally ride the Minion villaincon blaster ride. We're so excited, so we can't wait to tell you how it goes.
Alright guys, so we just got off the villaincon Minion Blast, and it's safe to say, interesting experience.
Yeah. So I guess we'll start with the queue. The queue it's cute. Like, they do a really good job of showing all the different theming and the characters and making you feel like you're really in this world of villains. On the TVs throughout the ride, they have like trivia questions, and you select A, B, or C to answer the questions. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and they also have a lot of props like for the villains, such as like villain purses, villain weapons, just different things that kind of put you in the mood of like, hey, I'm getting ready to do something evil. Even when you're checking in, telling how many people are in your party, they're like, we wish you the best, the worst of luck.
Yeah.
You know, so it's really, everyone's in character. It's a lot of fun. So now to the ride itself.
Yeah, so you get in the line and you pick up your blaster. And then you're on this moving platform. They have very specific places that you stand. They have colored dots. I think the colors were purple and orange. There's the color of the ride theme. And so they tell you to stand on either a purple or an orange dot once you have your blaster.
Right, and so about the blasters, my blaster worked for the first part of the ride, and then it stopped working after that. So it was saying like Wi-Fi connection issues, and then it was like stand still and stand by, and ultimately I had to get a re-ride, but the re-ride was great.
Yeah.
And it's a cool experience. It's a lot of screens, and you're just trying to basically shoot villains. It's kind of like a villain training sort of experience. And the minions, of course, are featured in it as well.
Yeah, you can see your little logo. Each gun has its own little personalized logo, so when you're holding your blaster up to the screen, you can see your little logo moving around, and that's how you're able to aim at whatever you're aiming for.
Yeah, speaking of aiming, we actually scored pretty well, I think. I know Renee, you scored
468, 935.
and I scored like 528, 650. So we're definitely gonna try to beat those scores.
Yeah, there's various ways that you can pick up points. So there's a lot happening on the screen. Like every single room has just a different something happening. But we noticed that you can collect coins throughout the different rooms and scenes that you're in. There's little like dynamite crates that you can shoot. Obviously there's the different villains that you're gonna see throughout the ride, and you're aiming at them. I think I'd have to ride it a few more times to really pick up like what gets you the most points, but
and sometimes the screen gets like super chaotic. Like there's a lot going on because everyone's cursors is on the screen at the same time. So figuring out how to get that high score. I know there's like people that specialize in Men in Black, Alien Attack. I think this one's going to be a bit of a challenge though. There's just so much going on. But the ride's a lot of fun. It's different, but it's something that I definitely would, I mean, we rode it twice today. I'd say that I definitely would go on it again. It's definitely great for kids. And it's just something like if you're not someone that likes roller coasters and you want an easy way to get around the park and something fun you can do, that we could always check out this ride. I think it's a great ride.
Yeah, it's a slow moving track, so any sort of like motion sickness and things, I don't think you really have to worry about that. You are kind of close to people. Those dots that I mentioned earlier, they're not very far, they're not very spread out. I think when they actually do the real launch and open the ride, they want to fit as many people on it as possible to keep the wait times down. So just keep in mind you are kind of close to whoever's to your left and right. But all in all, I thought it was fun.
Yeah, and it's one last point. I don't think this ride is ever going to have a super long wait time.
Because of the constant
Because
track.
it's constantly moving. It's constantly moving.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think it's a great ride. It's definitely going to take some pressure, I think, off Hagrid's and Minion Mayhem and some of the rides that tend to be the long waits. It's going to help relieve that a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. I would give it I'm a thrill person, so I feel like I'd probably give it like a 6.5, 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I give it about a 6 or a 7.
Yeah.
You know, we got to get used to it, but it's a good ride, and I think you guys definitely want to give it a try. All right, guys. So there are a few things we forgot to mention in the previous clip.
Yeah. So the length of the ride, I'd say because it's in the soft opening, we didn't wait very long. I say we waited not even 5 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, maybe 5 minutes.
Very quick, and I think the ride itself is a pretty good length. Like I think the whole thing is maybe you say like 3 or 4 minutes. So I think, you know, all things considered for the amount of time that there's some characters coming out behind us. Let's see who it is. Okay, sorry, I got distracted. I love the characters. But I was saying, I feel like the length of the ride is really, like, it's a long ride. You're going through several rooms, like we mentioned, so just keep that in mind. Like, sometimes you wait in line for, like, an hour for, like, a 2-second ride, and it's, like, really. But I thought the length of this was pretty good, so. There's great music, of course, as with all of the Minion and Dispicableme movies, so there's great music going on throughout the track. So it was fun to listen to. And then it's really hard to, I think I'd have to ride it a couple more times to pick up on the plot, I guess. But you are going, at one point you're in Universal Studios, which is pretty cool. So they have like island, I think, was the globe in it? The lighthouse tower. So they do a really good job with it. We got to figure out how exactly the villains end up in Universal and why they're trying to destroy it or take over, but it's fun. I think they did a really good job.
Alright guys, so we just got off the villaincon ride, and now we're going to go check out the rest of Minion Land. I know Reve's seen it, but this is my first time seeing it, so we're going to check out some of the food, the Minion Cafe of course, and see what's new. Let's get to it.
Okay, so we are here in the Minions Cafe. I've been able to come in and look at some of the decor and stuff, but this is our first time eating. So it looks like we're gonna take an order from the app, the Universal Studios app, and then they're gonna bring it to our table. We just tell them what table number we're at, and then they bring it right over. So let's check out this menu.
Alright guys, so as an avid coffee drinker, I can appreciate being able to get it at Minion's Cafe. So the coffee's hot. It's got a really nice lid. I don't feel like it's flimsy or gonna break or anything like that. And you get all of the stuff you need, the sugar, the creamer, the artificial sweeteners if you need those. So now we're just waiting on the food to come to our table, so we're excited.
It's really good. It adds a little bit of a kick, I guess, to it. It's not spicy, because I can't do spicy food, but it's got a little zing to it. I like it. What do you think?
I thought it was pretty good. Could have used a little bit more seasoning, some salt, some pepper. But the oils that they cooked the food in was really good. The glaze on that chicken had good flavor. Renee really loves the dark meat. And of course, the chicken breast was a little on the drier side, but it wasn't insanely dry, but it was an okay meal for the price.
Yeah, I thought the noodles, it was lo mein.
Yeah,
it was a lo mein noodle. I think, yeah, they were a little thick, and I think they just needed a sauce maybe, like a teriyaki or a soy or something. So I probably could pass on that, on the noodles in particular, but
it's a huge menu. There's a lot more to try. We'll definitely be back to try some of the stuff out. We saw the meatballs come out; those look really good.
Yeah.
They have some cool desserts on the menu. But one thing I can tell you I did love is this coffee. I'm a coffee guy, so.
Yeah, all in all, I think the thing that took we walked right in. We had workers there to greet us and help us with the mobile ordering app.
Yeah, it was great energy the minute you walked in. Everyone was just like, even for the kids, they were saying, hey, the Minions are getting your order ready. The Minions are so happy you're here. So the atmosphere here is really great.
Yeah. We found a table immediately. It was open seating because they weren't too crowded. And from the time we sat and ordered, I think Josh's coffee came out within
2 minutes.
Yeah, 2 or 3 minutes. And then the food came out probably another 3 or 4 minutes 4 minutes later. So it was a really fast experience, and everybody was great. can't leave the park without a cookie for the road.